This is a serious one. Where we show this with like different multiple S's. Like I hate tier lists to use like multiple S like to show like the good characters. But the issue is, the biggest issue with this patch is that the balance is so bad. They made the worst characters worse mostly, and made the strongest characters so much better. So much better than ever. It's really sad. Yeah, let's start with the GOAT. Let's start with the greatest. This is before the bug fix. So right now Ram is up here. Don't know what the state will be after her. Afterwards. So first thing first. Ram got reworked. The rework completely failed. This is what we're starting off with. You have a character that was really good, very good. Wasn't that like top tier or anything in my opinion, but like it was in a very strong state at the end of season 3. And then they reworked her. Yeah, they gave her Guard Crush with insanely plus frames. You can have someone block a sword from like 2/3 of the screen away, and you can still run up in time to throw them before the explosion. Ram currently has Guard Crush that lasts forever. Guard Crush being a mechanic that's always been broken in this game, and they just added more and more. This is probably the most broken instance of Guard Crush, except maybe past Happy Chaos's Guard Crush. His current Guard Crush is still very dumb, but it's not as dumb as it something like this. This Guard Crush comes with another layer. So something that exists in the game is projectile. When you have a projectile on someone, you cannot protect. Why am I saying this? How does this relate to Guard Crush in any way? Yeah, mashing my frame doesn't work. What Guard Crush does? You can't mash on Guard Crush plus throw, because Guard Crush removes the throw interval you have after exiting block stun. So after you exit Guard Crush, you can immediately be thrown on the first frame out of Guard Crush. So the throw interval you had for like mashing and fuzzing, that's gone. You can't like fuzzy jump, like fuzzy backdash. Those things don't exist. It's only committal jumps and committal backdashes. However, yeah, that's what happened when you backdash. So backdash is removed. Jumping exists. You can do a committal jump for a punish. Okay, so we have that. So we have the most basic option, which is jumping throw. What about Protect? Wait, I Protect. What happened? Why is it not working? Why is it not working? Oh, it's okay. I did immediate tech, but like, okay, I do immediate tech. That works. But like, wait, my fuzzy Protect isn't working. Why isn't it working? Why when I'm doing like Protect very slightly delayed, it doesn't work? Protect has a 10-frame window. That doesn't work. The reason is, after you throw them with the sword on them, and the sword explodes like almost instantly after you throw them, what happens is that while the sword is exploding, you cannot tech. While you are on a projectile, while there is a projectile on you, while you're in the throw animation, there is no more tech window. What this means is very simple. You can only immediate tech. Your throw tech window is gone. That is, by the way, that is something that did not always exist. It launched, this did not exist. Your throw tech window worked fine. This exists now. Since apparently from what Jonathan Tennis said, this exists from like October 2021, very early on. But yeah, so not only does Guard Crush eliminate all of your options by jumping, but even something as important as using your throw tech window doesn't exist due to the projectile. You have to commit. You have to either commit to reversal or an immediate throw. A lot of what makes anime fighting games good, like what makes the offense structures and strike throw and all that like more interesting is, yes, the strike throw is way more fucked up than in like a Street Fighter game. Like you have way more like you have gatlings and shit. You have way longer block sequences that you can throw in there. However, you have way more defensive options. That is what a lot of what defines these games. You have fuzzy jumps, you have fuzzy throws, they're usually more effective. Fuzzy backdash, fuzzy mashes, your fuzzy timings, and your varied options on defense that are way more effective than in something like a Street Fighter 6. These options are what defines this game. In Street Fighter 6, you have throw loops that are very simple. You have very, very oppressive offense because the defense is so much more limited. Those games are based on that. Strike throw is more simple on this throw itself. I'm not saying like there's no nuance or infam or nuance to strike throw in general, but the defensive options are way stronger in these games because the offensive options are so much stronger. Taking away these options and making me guess, leaving me no fuzzy options, leaving me with no fuzzy throw, leaving me without fuzzy jump, taking away all these defensive options with the guard crush and with the projectile thing. At this point, it's like, why am I playing Guilty Gear Strive? I just want to be blocking Ken. Why not all be getting throw looped by Ken if this is what we're doing here? So this shows like just how oppressive the situation is on the sword toss. Then you also have mix-up layers. You have high-lows after sword toss. You can do highs. If they stand block, you can hit literally fuzzy them because the guard crush is so long that it leaves them standing. So if they block the sword standing, you will have forever to run up. You will be able to react to them stand blocking and fuzzy them. You have unreactable left right so you combo from. This mix-up is just insane. In addition, Ram's ability to convert from every normal if she commits to or basically every normal. Like you can whiff punish with Aura, so you can whiff punish with Power Slash, confirm that you hit, and then do the corner to corner combos that build full meter. Like I can just do this. This is my 2K combo. We have gone too far when this is what a character gets from a 2K in the corner. So yes, Ram Little is very broken. The offense is broken. They're neutral. Ram Little neutral. Dude, they buffed this shit. This is +1 now. This flip is ridiculous now. Or they buffed her Power Slash. Again, her neutral is just insane. Her conversions are insane. Or her offense is insane now. So yes, well, you can't keep Sword anymore. She is just broken to an insane degree. And yes, obviously we also have the thing where this version, like the thing that seals the deal on her being like top 1 for me, like she has like this thing. Like sword stays on hit. That is very dumb. Goldlewis! Somehow, despite everything, despite all the broken shit I have just described to you, Goldlewis somehow still compares. And I think Goldlewis is an even sadder change. As with Ramatel, you can make the argument that he reworked her. You can make the argument that they didn't know how broken a lot of this would be. Maybe they didn't know how broken like Record something would be. I don't know. I would think the last thing about Ram. Also, she gets our charge Record 3 is also +1. She can end the Rekka and somehow be plus there. But that's not the biggest thing. Let's go on to Goldlewis. They just buffed him. They just gave him a billion buffs. There's no ambiguity with the Goldlewis changes. There is zero ambiguity with them. You cannot think like Ram changes. You cannot think, oh, this is a rework. Maybe we don't know what's happened. No, they just giga buffed him. Somehow, this character has not only not been nerfed since 3.5, but he has received the biggest buffs this game has ever seen. He gets security. He gets Behemoth cancelled. His minigun is insane. His conversions are insane. Somehow they buffed Behemoth Typhoon damage, so Goldlewis damage is so much higher. He can like TUD from a 2P in some situations from what I've seen from like Pressure. This character is a different level. I think there is still an argument that this character is stronger than Ram, and I have no idea how we ended up there. Oh yeah, he also gets security faster. His gauge, his resource. Again, we're talking about like real resources and fake resources. We're gonna talk about it more soon with Sin. But his resource, he just gets his shit instantly. Like he does get everything so fast. He gets his cancel so fast. His offense was already some of the best in the game. Now we can just cancel his broken behemoth into more broken behemoth. He has maybe the best anti-zoning tool in the game with his projectile. Let's look at Skyfish. I'm not gonna show like all the I don't think I need to explain very much about why behemoth cancels or broken, but something I do need to show you is that? Is that minigun? Look how much resource. One first thing. Look how fast I'm getting an entire bar. Look how fast I'm getting that first bar. This is ridiculous. Yeah, we're already at full bar. Now look at this. I can choose how long I want this to be. I can choose how long I want this to be. That bar. Look how little I am losing. I can choose. I can just do this. I can like, if someone's owning me, I can just do like whoop. Zando summons Eddie. Whoop. Asuka throws a cube. Whoop. You can choose how long you want to be, and if you want to commit to a full gauge, then look at this. This deals more damage than last, but using half of your security gauge for Skyfish, one, is something that's not a committal move. You can just decide to make it longer. But if you use half of your Skyfish, you get as much benefit as you did the last patch with full Skyfish, while also not needing to commit to that. And if you use current full gauge Skyfish, remember, if half a gauge of this Skyfish deals as much damage as a full gauge dealt last patch, let's look how much damage you do when you hold all of it. This is just the machine. This is just the minigun. This is also the best guard crush in the entire game. Look how much damage despite the guts I'm gonna do. This is just minigun. This, when you have a stealth combo, this is the most insane guard crush you will see. Yeah, this is also a patch that tried to make damage lower overall. While Goldlewis, again, they just buffed its damage so high. They buffed it so much. So Goldlewis ends up in here. We get sent to Sin soon, but let's talk about this character. Oh, imagine being top 1 for like most of the recent patches. This character was top 1 in 2.5, was top tier in 3.0, back to arguable top 1 in 3.5. Despite 3.5 being well this old patch, this character was still the best. Last patch of season 3, easy top 1. Like, there's like zero argument, I think, for May being top 1. I honestly think so. Like, the system was so much better for her, and the other top tiers got hit so much harder than her. Like, with the system changes. Despite being top 1 in so many of the patches, she is still getting buffed. And what a buff she got. What a buff did May receive. First of all, they just buffed a lot of her damage. Let's go to May. Let's look how much damage you do from a 5H. Bam. Bam. In corner combos, May doesn't even use 2H anymore. Like, you don't see Slash Plague, and he just spams this move. Because this damage is ridiculous. It's just insane. And they buff damage on the Yamada. They just buffed it. Look at this! You have some frame data nerfs. You have 6H getting 15 damage. You have 5H getting 20 damage in a counter-red launcher. Some more damage buffs. Jump H getting 10 damage. Again, those characters are getting very, very small numbers. May already having some of the highest damage in the game, and still doing this is ridiculous. May's hurt box on 6H is now way better. Look, you see this? You see all this blue? You see all this hurt box that she had? Yeah, this is what this move looks like now. One of the most important ways to counterplay it is hitting the hurt box. Is actually getting to hit it and then getting like a counter it or something. This is what 6H does now. This is this joint that 6H has. So her block string, one of her main block strings, 5k 6H. Good luck! Good luck dealing with that. Good luck dealing with charge 6H. Good luck dealing with frame trap 6H. This move is ridiculous. Remember, this character was already top 1 and this is the stuff she's getting. Yamada getting 30 damage, ridiculous. But somehow, we're not even going... We didn't even go over the biggest buff. Used to be a very, very, very strong pressure tool. Now this is what Hop does. You're getting all the way from there. But what if I don't want to? I bet you're in here. This You know how I knew this patch, like how I knew May's completely doomed? I saw Slash tweeting, "Damn, I'm never spending a minute on the ground again. I'm never staying underground, bro." This character with some of the best air game in Guilty Gear Strive has this. She can hit you from anywhere on the screen. Threat from anywhere. Anywhere. Already had some of the best neutral skips in the game. Dolphin is still, a lot of people would say it is the best neutral skip in the game. 3K. Insane neutral skip. If it's outside of neutral skips, her poke are just incredible. And now she has this. And not only is this insane in neutral, because again, you can choose how far to go. You can choose all of it. All of it is a choice. And this comes with stuff like stopping the dolphin. Or just continuing to do dolphin. In addition to all of this, you also just get way better mix-up. Way better mix-up. Because you can now go left. You can go right. She already had really good left-rights of it, but some of them were a bit hard at the time. Now, even the Celestial Maze were mixing you up. You know it is bad when you're getting mixed up by Celestial Maze. She has some high lows as well. She can straight up making this. She can straight up make this a 3-way mix-up, because she can also just land and incorporate like IADs on each side. Like doing like this. Yeah, she has this. She has this. And then eventually she can just do this. And if she feels like it, now she can also just go same side. And also, she has a command grab. So this character having some of the highest damage in the game, some of the best neutral in the game, now it's also hitting you with 4-way mix-ups. Now she's mixing you up from everywhere across the world. And seeing it is way harder. And this is just like the basic shit. Then mix-up gets so... These mix-ups gets demonic the more you look into them. Somehow, despite the top tier being this broken, May is still up there. Because guess what? Not only did they buff the top 1 character, they have Giga buffed the top 1 character. It was like not in the best shape last patch. Like when they were removing DPRC and removing his follow-ups from block, like not giving him the ability to do his DP follow-ups when it's blocked, not giving him the ability to do DP super, which was huge for him. Yes, that was a huge nerf. How did he go so much high? Because the last patch, like he's definitely the DP character that got affected the most. I'll tell you how. It is actually very stupid. A few of these, I have been playing Sin as of late. Some of the character I'm considering playing this patch. Playing for the October final, I mean. Yeah. Before you did like 2K2D, you like if you use like a lot of resources, you could do like a big corner free combo. Now, 2K2D, DP follow up, use 1 bar. Guess what? It's broke the wall. It's Force Clash. He used to have either Wild Assault conversions that needed a bunch of resources, but again, his resource didn't used to be that big, but we'll go over his resource in a second. He used to need to do like Wild Assault for the big conversions. The only thing he used to get like if you use a special was this, which was a pre-season 3. This was a really good conversion. What does he get now? Yep. You get hit round start. The wall breaks and you're taking half your health. For 2 bars. Now something notable, he gets his bar a lot slower. Like his bar used to be like a lot of people call it like a fake resource, because like you got it so fast you could really use it like as much as you want mostly. Yes, once in a while you did have to like play slowly, but you didn't have to like stall for bar too much. You had it very often. Now you actually get it like it takes a while. It takes a while to get that bar. But again, this doesn't justify a character with neutral as good as Sin. Sin's neutral is already ridiculous. And getting these conversions from it straight up just... that makes sense. Now, not only that, but Sin's biggest issue before was his offense. His neutral was really good. His conversions were like fine, especially with Wild Assault. His conversions got a lot better. Not better to this degree, but they got a lot better. But his offense still has some issues. Like, even if he like shimmied you with his overhead, he didn't get any good reward. His overhead was very good, but he needed like meter usually to get anything from it. Because like on counter it, he didn't get anything from it. Now on counter it, if he does this overhead, which again, when you see a Sim dashing at you, if you tech that, you beforehand you are fine. Like if he did overhead, fine, he gets a hit, he doesn't get a combo unless he has meter. That's not that bad. Now, if Sin hits you with an overhead in his pressure at any point, or if he uses it as a shimmy, this happens. He gets a full combo. I'm not doing a good combo, but again, he gets a full combo from his overhead. He gets to nuke your entire health bar. This isn't even a clean. I'm not even getting the clean timing. And he does this much damage. And that's the CPU super. Again, you literally can just get a full combo off of resources, off of his stamina, or off of Wild Assault. And that is insane. His overhead was already really good. It has a really fast animation, which is really hard to see alongside some of his others, like Elkan. It's really hard to see overhead. And now this is huge. But not only is it good on hit, but while previously you were minus on block, now, if you do the dash follow-up, you get Guard Crush offense. That's all of his special follow-up, no Guard Crush. And you know how previously if he did Alkan into the Guard Crush, into follow-up, he got like a perfectly timed like 1 frame gap close slash? All of his specials now lead to that. So if you get a random big driver in neutral, you can immediately convert that into Guard Crush Strike Throw. If you get overhead in your offense, you can get Guard Crush Strike Throw. Everything they have given this character who's had offense issues, they have given him way better conversions from the offense, and they have given him straight up Guard Crush offense, which fixed a lot of his issues. Conversions, ridiculously high damaging conversions off of his already incredible neutral. Plus, way better block strings because he gets access to Guard Crush if he gets the stamina. Again, we are pretty new in the patch, but it is very clear that some more like this is the top tier. These are one after the other. Not giving you like the exact science of one after like this is over this or this over this. But I'm trying to show you like the tiers and the area that these characters are at. Now Johnny, one of the most buffed characters. Alongside him, characters that did not start off well. Characters that did not start off well at all. Sin was quite weak on launch. Johnny was quite weak on launch. Johnny was, despite being weak, abused the system mechanic known as Orange Wild Assault very well. Part of what showed like how problematic his design is him literally being an Orange Wild Assault bot to great effect. If you look at the tournament Peppery Splash one in Brazil, the one that actually this year's version just happened yesterday, Battle Coliseum, you will see that Johnny, he gets to do some neutral stuff, but a lot of it is just was just abusing Wild Assault. And now they just giga buffed him. Last patch, in like 3.99 I call it, they buffed a lot of low tiers, and Johnny got maybe the biggest buffs the game has ever seen outside of maybe Sin. Johnny got huge buffs. They made his dash lightning speed. They made his conversions way better. His neutral. They fixed a lot of his offense issues. They have buffed this character ridiculously high. They have made him top tier. And guess what? Despite him being one of the most complainable characters last patch, they just let him be. They just let him be. Not only they just let him be, they buffed him. Misfire now beats projectiles. Just kills projectiles, not just beats them. Just kills any projectile you throw in front of it. And in Senga, 5k, 6k in Senga. This is the damage I'm doing. In Senga just does pile bunker levels of damage. Insane move. So yeah, despite Johnny already having godlike neutral conversions, amazing mix-up. Just character that was top tier last patch, and now, again, instead of being one of the victims of the patch, he gets to be a winner, receiving a very, very big buff to one of his moves. So he goes here. Next up, we got some Nago Ryuki. Another top 1 contender for last patch. Well, Nago Ryuki just keeps winning. Keeps somehow, despite being one of the best. He had like there was a one patch where it was like definitively nerfed 2.5 where they made his health scale with blood, and then despite him being like top 5, they were like nope, we need him at the top. So that's when they gave him mix-ups and gave him some of the biggest buffs you've ever seen a top tier get. Kara Command Grab exists now. He can Kara specials. Not only can Kara specials, but his 6k keeps momentum. What does this mean? He keeps momentum so he gets this close to you when he does his DP. Again, 6k momentum stuff is really, really big. Not only that, instead of it being only on counter it, it staggers the on hit as well. So you don't think, oh, it doesn't seem like it's too much. What impact could it have? Yeah, you can combo into this. Yeah, if you're close enough, straight up like just doing 5k, 6k. Just give you this 6k normal hit. And just you give this character with how broken Bite is, you give him the ability to combo into it. So that is, honestly, that is really ridiculous with some of the conversions he has, but it's not as, it could be worse. Now, let's look at some other changes he has gotten. Want to look how much damage 5H does on high level? Yes. That much. His H normals are no longer cancelable. None of them. However, they all guard crush now. And they all do ridiculous amounts of damage. This did to Sin Health 116 damage. Let's move to like a character with lower defense values, like Chipp. That was 5H, 5H. This is doing 3 6Hs. Also, Nago builds hella risk. Let's say like he has like what, 30 risk? Damn! Let's say he has like 50 risk. Nago will crank up to those levels and beyond. Wait. If there was any wall damage already present there. Oh, you know it would be gone. Yeah. His H normal deal ridiculous amount of damage. Unblock, you want to see how much you're taking for blocking an H normal. This is how much you take from being zoned by Nago. Look at the risk gauge, by the way. It started off high, so let's lower it a little bit. This is Nago doing 5H. He does almost as much damage on Chipp as something as like May 5H does on hit. It does about as much damage on block as it did on hit last batch. Yeah, he's only, is he -6? No, he's -8. No, it's minus 8 set sheet. But again, it is -8, but what are you gonna, oh, you meant 6H, yeah, 6H is still like, you're RPSing when you're blocking this. Let's not have the mash. Like, you're going into RPS on this. You're being zoned, like, what are you doing when Nago's here? What button are you pressing? You're getting zoned, you've been getting zoned. But now, when you're often low health here, you just die. You're -8 here when you're being zoned. -8 taking this much damage on block, getting your risk crank up this much. You're blocking this here, RPSing with this 2S. And this 5k. And even this. I see Verex doing this. Yeah, his normals at this range are just ridiculous. I am more scared of being zoned by Nago level 3. I am far more scared of being zoned by Nago level 3 than I am of being zoned by Axel. That's like his thing. That is what Axel does. Oh, did it be too slow there? Yeah. They made the minimum damage of this super be this much. That's what I've been trying to show. I did like, what, 200 damage when I wall stuck? Again, look at this again. Look how much damage, how much health he has before the wall stick. Look how much damage this does after. This is the most scale combo you've seen. This is max scaling. Yeah, this is the Giga buffed his cash out combos. Giga buff. And again, I'm not no Nago master. Yeah, his cash out combo is ridiculous. Oh, I forgot. I showed his level 3 normal. Surely that's as worst as it gets for Nago, right? Surely that's the worst. This is how much his H normal do on hit. It's how much 6H does on hit. How much you get hit for when you get hit in neutral. Oh, I can cancel it, right? Let's say the max. Okay, let's say the wall damage is like at maximum, something like that. You get wall stuck, you get OK'd by Nago and Blood Rage, la la la. You got hit by the instant overhead, and you died. Yeah. They giga buffed his high levels, like damage. His damage is just ridiculous. You can no longer stall and like take your time when Nago's at higher blood levels. His cash out combos are just insane now. Completely insane. They did nerf his mix up. Like he can no longer convert. He just doesn't get a combo. Which is a big nerf. When he had meter, like that mix up was completely absurd. You still die. And again, that mix-up is still big for the very simple reason. He does not spend meter to do a mix-up. He will use this as a frame trap. Your option is still either him using his blood and giving him the free hit despite just doing the follow-up that doesn't cost him blood. Or you're getting hit by Beyblade, which will give him a full combo. The options on his mix-up, like the way it works with his offense, is still incredible. Incredibly strong. But yeah, it is a big nerf. Not as big as the buffs. Not as big as all the shit I just talked about. When you're being cornered by Nago and he goes to level 3, you don't have many choices. You don't have many choices. Again, none of this is ordered. It is important to note. None of this is ordered. Wait, actually, I think we talked enough about Nago. Higher levels are ridiculous. Mix-up is worse, but it's still incredibly strong for his offense. His cash out combos which we saw a lot, got way better now. That he can combo into Blood Rage and still get the wall stick. Something important. RPSing with Nago post Blood Rage is so bad. One health Nago with 0 blood is still an insane menace. So even if he does cash out, like he's forced to cash out, being able to break the wall now and go into that post Fallback situation with the option he has with 0 blood, incredibly strong. Yeah, up next. Why? Do you notice that all the characters that were the clear top tiers last patch are all somehow getting buffed? I think Slayer, it is way more arguable if he got buffed. I believe there's a good argument for him getting buffed. Either way, he's still ridiculously broken. Right, just like Sins had the strength of having really big distance with his backdash while being given weaknesses like the longer dash, like duration. Slayer's backdash was, he has a really strong follow-up and he goes very far, but the backdash stays in place for a while, so even after he's invul, he's still at the same place he started. So they took that away, so now his backdash really actually moves him really far back, while still having that follow-up, because yes, he was designed with a backdash that has a follow-up to it, while also going really far, and can BRC'd. And that is now just a gone. That huge weakness is now gone, so not only is chasing his backdash when on his wake up and shit and on his offense way harder, it is way more spammable, and you have to deal with his follow-up. So if he has meter, you're like, good luck. Not only that, but he now has access to backdash BRC being way stronger. He had backdash BRC before, but it had a problem. Now he has backdash BRC while having an insanely powerful backdash. Really, really strong backdash. It still has that has better frame data, better movement, sorry, like better frame data on like how the invul works. Like he's actually moves back after being invul, and in addition to that, he also just had a follow-up in his backdash. So that is very strong. Now he did lose his reversal super. What? Now you would look at the patch notes and you would think, oh wait, he only gets his backdash. Sorry, he only gets invul on his super really late, right? You would think so. You would think he only gets invul like really late into the super where it doesn't matter. Yeah, he gets his invul like frame 8. He can still use this as a whiff punish. It's a full speed. Your zoners are dying to this thing. Basically, mostly all the same. Like, this is not something you can deal with still. When he's really far away from you, you still need to be scared of it. Even before he is dashing at you as invul, while he's dashing at you as invul, this is still very powerful. Not a reversal super, which is big for his character. Not having super PRC is big. However, it is very, very important to note. Part of why his super PRC was so needed and his reversal super was so strong is because his defensive issues were quite bad. Being able, like his backdash being weak was really, really big for him and is what made his super so necessary. So while he did lose this as his reversal during pressure in most situations, his backdash now covers for a lot of these issues. His backdash is really strong. Having a very strong backdash is honestly, I think it can be equivalent, if not stronger, than having a reversal super. It very much depends on the situation and characters, but I think it's straight up hard to say. The more I play against him, the more I feel like the backdash thing is bigger. I play against him with different characters, yeah. This is my current take. Now, A.B.A. Oh, you would think. Oh, wait. He said in patch notes, A.B.A. has more recovery? Ooh, more distance? Ooh. Now, the thing about A.B.A., him getting more distance, you would think is big. You think it's big, good for you. He's so close to you, you can press P buttons. This is so scary. But then you realize that him being -3, far away from you, that's not what you want to do in your life. Yeah. When he's a little faced, situations where you'll often be putting himself in offense, like, yeah. You're not RPSing with his P buttons anymore. You're RPSing with its 2H. You're RPSing with its 5K. You're running Dolphin RPS against a character that has this, and this, and this, and this. That is the RPS you're doing. It was worse before. Again, I think I don't think it's that simple. That's my point. Sometimes, again, like I showed, when up close, it being -3 is way more relevant. In the corner, when you're like blocking like this, it being -3 is very relevant. But what I'm trying to show is that when you give him that distance, though he's -3, he has insane RPS options. He has buttons that you cannot fuck with. And something very important, this is a character that you need to FD most of the time. You're not FDing Slayer, good luck. And when you're FDing Slayer, you're giving him that spacing. You're giving him the ability to run that shit. Even in the corner. You're FDing Slayer, you're giving him these RPS options. Is it a nerf? Is it a buff? It's hard to tell. FDing against him being so much worse is big. Because I don't think there's any argument. Slayer being at this spacing, running that offense, some characters could maybe deal with this. Again, you need to FD Slayer. And FDing Mappa Hunch being this bad is catastrophic. I would rather fight with his P buttons. So I think it's very dependent on whether or not it's a buff, whether or not it's a nerf. Probably matchup specific. When you actually get him to be close to you, this is big. Because yes, giving him like these spots is really good for you. Being +3 when Slayer is close to you is big. Him not being -1 is huge. His space P-Mappa is so rough. That shit is so rough. And the fact is, regardless of whether it ends up being a nerf or a buff, whatever, or like not unchanging, this is so small. The compensation buff these things have given him, like the compensation buff P-Mappa got, the compensation buff his backdash got after he lost his super, these are so good that despite being, a lot of people have had him as top 1. I had him like top, I had him like 3rd best. And despite this, he's basically the same shit. They nerfed the characters, they took Capel from Milia, but Slayer needed his backdash Giga buff. That is the stuff you needed. Also, something very big. His 2H, the normal that moves back, while guard crushing moves that reach as high as Zando 2S. Not just like your 2Ks, as Zando 2S gets low profile by this 2H. This 2H, an insanely problematic normal, that is such good high crush, it's such good reward, that you see Slayers doing this as their A.B.A. Their solution to it was, oh, let's give him recovery. This is not how you deal with this move. This did not deal with his issues. This move is still insanely problematic. It's still problematic on offense. It being such a strong defensive and neutral tool is still ridiculous. The way in which Slayer spammed it, they will still keep spamming it. It is ridiculous normal still. These are the Slayer changes. One last thing. He is the only character that have lost health in a patch where almost all characters got notable health increases. That is the actual biggest thing they gave him. He's not like one of the highest health characters in the game anymore. The last character in SS tier. How does this character still stay in these pots? How does Badguy keep doing it? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know how he does it. Soul got notable nerfs, but he is one of the reworked characters of the patch. Designed by the last patch was very cringe. I'm not gonna lie. Revolver, neutral, and all that. Revolver 1 being so strong was a big problem. They nerfed Revolver 1 by a lot. They nerfed it by a lot. However, they have given Sola some ridiculous tools. He's doing this. He can cancel into Vortex. This is huge. Soul's whiff punishment is way better now. His whiff punishment reward is ridiculous. Being able to do forward slash Vortex is insane. Converting like a lot of things like into Vortex is just amazing. Its conversions are so good. Revolver is way less cringe. Like this, like actually, like look, I'm holding up after Revolver. You can look. This is not as spammable as before. Block as well. It's double digit. I think it's like -15 as well. Like Revolver. Oh, sorry. Revolver 1. They have also changed Bringer. Oh, yeah. So yeah, all Bringers now have a higher attack level. The thing is, Ground Bringer now has more coverage, so it's still like -4. But the biggest thing is, these things also have way momentum. Way momentum. Way more momentum. So, yeah, but it's really close. This matters. This looks really specific. But then let me have like Soul doing this. I'm dash blocking. When you're dash blocking, this is way more effective. So dash blocking into Bringer is really big. And also, like, even when it's spaced, being Bringer just straight up gives you a punish. Even when it's like really down spaced. This is really big. Also, Air Bringer can't be charged anymore. It's not, you can't match it, you can't punish it with 2Ks, but again, it has the sliding knockdown. So, again, even though you can't punish it with a 2K, if you block it close enough, you can throw. On Grounded Bringer, the biggest thing is look how close he is to you. Like, even if he's not in throw range, the situation is way worse for him unblocked. This whole changes, we got Fafnir. Not only can he cancel into Vortex, he can cancel into Fafnir. Which means, 1, they have given him a clean hit Fafnir. Yeah, okay, so you can get a clean hit Fafnir. And if you get a clean Fafnir, you get set up a wall bounces bringer right into heavy DP. So yeah, Fafnir is big for combos, but the biggest thing for Fafnir, even though it's really useful for combos, and again, you see like he has Vortex cancel, he has Fafnir cancel, you get a lot more consistent combos. His peak damage is lower, but his consistent damage is gone way up now. He does way more damage on average now. But yeah, one of the biggest things with Sol was he didn't have like super consistent special cancels, like on defense. Like Revolver, when Revolver was really good, like that was a strong option. But again, it was RPS that was pretty dumb, and not that rewarding for you if you didn't have meter. Now, they just decided to give him this. Now, Fafnir doesn't have a guard crush anymore. It's actually minus. This shit is like -3. -3 Fafnir. That if you're FDing Sol, which you used to be really encouraged to FD Sol, and you're all the way here when you're +3. 3 doesn't matter. So defending Sol got completely different now with this. His special cancels are so much better with this. His offense is, you can run way more simple offense. He still has his really strong plus frames, but he just has a way better ender. They don't counter it, you will explode. Yeah, if you're doing it closer up, it can be thrown, but this thing is fast, so good luck throwing it. And again, if you're everything Sol, you're not gonna be in range to throw it, you're not gonna be doing much. And yeah, and even when you're not, and again, even when you're not FDing just basically brings him back to neutral. When it's normal block, you're still, it's not exactly Dolphin RPS, it doesn't have like the best buttons to Dolphin RPS. They can backdash, he's still like only -3, which is really good. Giving Sol a consistent cancel in his offense is really good. Besides obviously like Wall, which is still amazing on him. Now, I believe the last thing we have on him, so we have better convergence, way better whiff punishes while having like more consistent damage and more consistent pressure. While his neutral, like yeah, Revolver is still is worse, but just his whiff punishment made the neutral so much better because hitting people with Force Slash is way better. And Force, I don't need to explain how Soul Force is just completely insane. Yeah. Now, last thing, they gave him Pal Bunker. Last patch, with them reducing the wall damage that clean hit, that HV in general does, he had some real issues breaking the wall consistently while doing like good damage. Like good damage from like clean hits. Now, he just immediately breaks the wall. This acts as a Pal Bunker, which gives him way more consistent combos. He still has stuff like this. So the stuff like clean hit Fafnir that pushes him away from the wall gives you stuff like this. Sol still has ridiculous damage. His offense is way more consistent, and FDing Sol being so much worse is huge for him. Again, his character built this much risk, and now this heavily discourages you from FDing him. It's gigantic. Yeah, Sol still got buff. He got nerfs alongside his buff. Like actually, not like he probably got more notable nerfs than the characters around him, but his buffs are gigantic. Now, next up is a character that could be there with them, but for now, I will have him here. I think he could be up there with them, but for now, due to him actually being nerfed, although he got notable buffs, but due to his nerf, I will put him here. Chaos. Okay, so what happened to Chaos? You can hit through Clone. Let's go. Clone, one of the most broken moves in the game. You can now hit through it. You can just hit through that shit. It's way weaker. It still has usages. It still blocks collision, which is really huge for some matchups. But way weaker move. But the thing is, when Chaos is winning, when Chaos is jumping at you, he can still shoot at you and get in. His hair is still broken as hell. He just kind of struggles against some of these characters. But the main thing is these characters are just completely overtuned. I still think this character is hella overtuned. Again, I still think he could be here. Clone nerf is big, but guess what? When like I said, clone is things you do, is something you do when things don't work out. This character still gets you with a 2P into wall break, and guess what? That's enough of a thing to do when things aren't working out too well. This character still has amazing normals, amazing neutral, still maybe the best offense in the game. Maybe not anymore. Kind of crazy to say. Maybe, I don't know, it's hard to say. Probably still the best offense in the game, honestly. I would say. Also, he got a big jump 2k nerf. Dude, his jump 2k now gives him insane bounces and does hella damage. His optimal combos now, his close slash punish is now literally doing close slash into immediate jump 2k and then more jump 2ks. His resourceless combos are really good now off of the jump 2k buffs. That thing is insane. That thing is really, really big. I will, for now, keep him here. Next up, though, we got Chipp. We got this guy. Chipp was not doing the best last patch. He was not living his best life. He was better at that system than the previous one. But again, he kind of got power crept in a lot of ways. But now in this patch, Chipp became the power creep. They have given him this rope move. Rope is a tool that does many, many things. It gives him insane conversions. It gives him so many options in neutral. When rope is up with Chipp in neutral, you can do so many things. Let me just go in game real quick with Chipp. Just to show you how. Like, Chipp neutral is already like, bro, he's still running at you with this move. Still running at you with this move. But now what if he just up the rope and do this? Can hit you with some of this, can just jump all around you, and just fake you out while the rope is out. Just immediately jump and bait you. Just do so many things. The rope is so strong. It supports this neutral so well. This character was already like the master of just standing here and looking at you. Now he can set up this thing pretty fast while also having a pretty good high profile. And if he gets hits on you while the rope is up, dude, you're gonna take some damage. Oh, dude, sorry. Look how much damage I'm doing from a forward slash while the rope is up. He also just buffed the damage on his wall run normals. So even though lower damage in this game, look how much damage I'm doing off a wall run. Like, you can do wall run combos from something like a 2s counter, which is huge. Look how much damage. This is after they increased the health. They just made all of his wall run moves way better. And they introduced this devilish normal. You see this move? This move hits all the way to the ground. This move hits you on your lowest point in 6B. You will not deal with this move. You know how 6B has a low profile and then after a few frames a lower profile? Yeah, despite being on the rope, if he does 6H, he hits the lower profile. And you know how much outward this reaches while being like a huge normal? Yeah, this is all disjointed. This move beats stroke. I did not check that, but I believe you, yeah. And this move hits so low. Yeah. While being that disjointed. There's like no hurtbox on it. This normal is so stupid. But yeah. Again, this also just gave him way better mix-ups. Like, even like something like a 2k today. He's hitting you like that. Well, doing this amount of damage from his left right now. Yeah, you know how Chipp like wall break super, like, it's good for like positive bonus, but the damage is not the best? They have massively increased his damage off of his damage on this super. This is a way better combo ender, way better for finishing the round. So let me show you like a basic combo. Look how much damage. This was 161 damage before Lancia Rogue. Look at the minimum damage. This is 79 damage minimum. This super is so good. Frustrated was complete like minimum damage, but this was really skilled by them. No point. Yeah, the rope helped Chipp massively. Put him in a way stronger spot. He could go up. He has potential to go up. We need more time for the rope. Way more time to like explore rope. This is a very new and very versatile move. So again, time will tell. Maybe it could go up. Maybe counterplay is big. Maybe like matchups are too rough to deal with. This is likely to be very good, even better for Chipp, I would say. So he has aspirations of even going as up as here. Leo Whitefang. Now Leo. Yeah, you can despite previously having a true step dash that like you couldn't cancel to anything while in back turn, you can cancel his dash into all back turn normal. Which gives him stuff like this. You know how you previously would do like this, like dash behind them and then do back turn K? You can cancel that. You can cancel that dash into back turn H. So you're getting hit by that three-way mix-up. Again, his left right are so much better. His like backdashing him while he's in back turn is so much weaker. His back turn moves and also just do way more damage. His damage is way better here. Something really big. Yeah, his backdash, if you I.B him like in the corner, where like he couldn't like backdash afterwards, like you could throw him out of back turn like if you I.B like. Previously, this was like a straight up punish. Like you cannot fuck with this. But now, he didn't have any invul on his back turn backdash. Now this is like 6 frames of invul, 17 frames total backdash. The frames on this backdash are stupid. If he can go to the back turn safely. His turbulence now has way more spacing on it. Oh, never mind. Yeah, you can. Okay, this is fun. Yeah. Right, different time it. So yeah, you can just backdash here. Yeah, no, I thought it was pretty striker moves. Yeah, you have full invul on your backdash here. But here you can RPS better when you're being IB'd and shit. Yeah, he did get a notable nerf, like his dash block got notably nerf. A really big nerf for Leo, especially because of how dash block dependent his neutral is. And also, his white does not reach as far now. Like you see, this isn't crossing up. So those are really big nerfs, but I would say with how big the backdoor nerfs are, it's still more notable. You cannot special cancel. Special cancel is normals and backturn. I cannot do backturn H into White, which is big because backdashing after that backturn H when you're spaced, White was really important. The bug is being fixed in 2 days though. So we got this is no idea. No, I've played against this Baiken. I've seen a lot of stuff. But this Baiken is so different. She is so buffed, but it will take a while to figure out how strong she is. She is very a different case these days. She could go in a much different spot. She can go all over the place here. Probably not here, but like she can go up, she can go down. It is hard to say. The buffs are really big. The biggest thing she got, like that's not the biggest thing, but she got so many shit, so much. Yeah, you can guard crush in the middle of block strings, and then dash, and also dash cancel it to like just get up there. If you mistime it, you will die. But yeah, obviously having a parry mid block stun is gigantic. Not only that, Baiken straight up moves faster. You can look like she is not nearly as slow as she used to be. Not sure the exact number of how much they buffed her speed, but you can see like she's a lot more mobile. And her forward slash has way less pushback. And in addition to her forward slash having less pushback, her 5H launches. What do these changes mean? It means this. Forward slash, when you do dash forward slash, not usually connect to 5H now. Which is insane. Like one of the biggest things they complain about, nothing connecting after forward slash. And because of the launch you get when you hit that, you straight up get your okay. And there, like you can straight up like left right here. Like, page and Yozensen and all that. The back half of Yozensen is now a vacuum. On hit and on block. Which means on hit you're getting close flash convergence. On block. Yeah. When they block Yozensen neutral, you're here. This is where you're at. Oh, you've noticed, Baiken is timing this move a lot more. It is way better. Baiken, like, she didn't get like an insane, she didn't get as many buffs to go with, but the buffs she got are so meaningful. This character leaped in the tier list. This character is flying up there, man. They made her neutral so much better. They made her defense incredible. Like, and parrying block stun. The characters, a bunch of the characters she struggled against, like Asuka especially being nerfed that much is huge for her. That was one of her like most problematic matchup. Now they got way better, like because of his nerfs in addition to her buffs. Again, Baiken, way better spots. Way better spots. Hard to say because, again, the character buffed this much, she was this low. It'll take a bit to figure out where she stands. But compared to how low a lot of people were about Baiken before, I think she's in a good spot now. Ew. Sadly, this guy, I debated, but like, I think he's here. They have completely reworked Pot in the worst way possible. They have taken his Karas. He's way less interesting, and like technical stuff of him is way less cool. No Karas, but still buffed. How does he do it? How does let's put Potemkin in S tier? What? How does this happen? Well, I'll tell you, because they buffed the ever-leaving shit out of most of his tools. Like, look at Potemkin's list. That's like an old. Look at Potemkin's list of buffs. That's an old timer. Because they removed Kara, they buffed the range on all of the stuff like Land Grab. Garuda is now the speed of light. That move is so fast. Garuda is also now a projectile, which is good for some stuff bad for others. His conversions are way better. Gigantor is, guess what? Gigantor is still dumb. Hammerfall, dude, Hammerfall. If you watch older Guilty Gears, you would notice that Potemkin cancels his Hammerfall a lot. It runs out of his movement with this. It is very big for him. And now we're kind of back. They have made that move so much faster. This is really good. He can move around with it. He can run in pressure. He can keep pressure going with this because like reacting to this is like good luck. This is really hard. His neutral is way better. They swapped out his Wild Assault with Blue Wild Assault, which is worse for neutral skips. However, within offense, this is so big for him. If he manages to combo into it, he can combo into Command Grab because of the stagger. Get more meter for walking, which is big especially for Pot because of how broken his meter usages are. His K normals are way better. Oh my god, this move is This move is giga active. His 2K is better, it's faster. His forward slash is way less hurt box. His close slash has less knockback, so the offense is better. 6H no wall bounces. Yeah, you can do like pounds off the wall bounce, like 6H loops now. Almost do a lot of damage. His air normal is like, dude, this move is huge now. Like, look how, look where I'm hitting this from. Look how high this move is hitting from. You see a lot of air of Potemkin. Yeah, his jump H also bigger. You see a lot of Potemkin just like jumping and spamming moves. His moves are so good. Potemkins are just spamming normals right now. Okay, now the last character, we got an S tier. Guess what? You know what? I said she's gonna get some buff. I even made a read of one of the buffs she's gonna get, like shotgun being a hard knockdown, and I was right. Got Elphelt up here. They made her one. She has orange wild assault now, so she upgraded from blue, the worst one, the best one, and she really benefits from orange wild assault. They made her Oki way better. They let her convert from Rekka's into one. They give her a hard knockdown shotgun shot. 2, if you're at the wall, it can wall bounce and give you a left right. Okay, it's big for her because she does force. She converts from a force slash. This dude, she can still do like force, like orange wall assault, like the Rekka, like RPS stuff. And again, her conversions are really big. Her conversions are really good. You can dash cancel Rekka, which means you can cancel it into stuff like orange wall assault for combos. You can cancel it into Pineberry, which means you have even more RPS. You have even dumber options on your offense with Rekka, which we all knew Rekka was already pretty stupid, and now they made it even better. And yeah, like these, like the conversions from this are way. They buffed them like last patch, and now they're even better. You can now do stuff from this. Why is this hard knockdown? Let's talk about this super now. This super is a strike super. It breaks the wall. It's not a command grab anymore. But it sticks the bomb on you. You can explode it with like a dish or like Rekka or whatever. But the most important thing is Once you have the bomb on you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. The bomb will explode. The bomb will stay on you. You have a mini Faust permanently on you for the next like 5 seconds, and he's gonna hit you. You need to accept he's gonna hit you. When Elphelt does her positive offense with that move, and you get hit, and she then converts into the corner. You know, positive gives a lot of meter. Just do this shit. You can loop it. You can run your insanely disgusting wreck offense. You can run so much insane offense. Remember, positive gives you burst. You got much better uses for burst, so you got this. And you know how her special cancels? Like, again, her different special cancel, like having frame traps and shit, it's extra big for her. Because RPS thing around Rekka and around this move was really, really big. And a really big and defining part of her offense. Now you just have a clean frame trap. You just have this. You just have orange volatile frame trap, which makes things so much harder to deal with. You know, well rammed projectile staying on hit is being taken away. This thing is here to stay. She was already really buffed last patch. They gave her like a major front slash way better because it works with it carries momentum from dash. Her 2-piece 4 frames and all that. But yeah. She was already on her path to being really good, and this was like way over the top. I know it's not order, but I do want to talk about Kai. Kai did get a big nerf to his conversions. His corner carry is quite a bit worse because before he used to be able to do like food arc into 5H into food arc in a lot of his combos. That is just basically gone now. They did give him better conversions with shock state. Let me show it right here. Oh yeah, I forgot to say also they give recovery to this move, which is really big. Very important Pokemon. There's 6H. Very important way to beat 6P. Also, they made this move better, I forgot to say, which is very notable. But yeah, sorry. It's conversions with shock state. When he has shock, he can now very, very, very consistently convert into DP and then continue the combo. Which is really, really good for him. Those things were not consistent at all. Now we can do these conversions mid-screen, which is huge. Again, losing his main the corner carry tool, which is like food arc, 5H food arc, really big component of his combos, does hurt a lot. Oh, sorry. Another really big conversion and offense buff. You're in like basically infinite hit stop when you get hit by this move. You saw in like a lot of tournaments, like you can often like convert it into all 3 hits of these when they're airborne, and often continue the conversion with how much hit stop they're in. Like look, like they're getting hit. I'm still being able. I can still run up and follow it up. This is really big. Yes, this projectile, like this infinite is nice. I had an infinite here before. Yes, this infinite is probably a bigger deal, but like, how often do you see Kai and insta? Have you ever seen this combo in a tournament match? No, probably not. Despite being like pretty accessible. Like the holding projectile stuff is a lot better. Like being able to like just do this thing is. Yeah, we can just like continue the projectile forever basically. They build a versatile that. But yeah, it's not much of a big deal. It's funny, it's kind of dumb. Maybe it gets nerfed, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. Not a big deal. But yeah, his conversion nerfs are probably bigger than his buffs. He would definitely take his food drop perk or carry over the stunnage, over the shock state that we got. Although at the same time, he also is a big benefactor of other characters not having a more of a whiff punishable 6B. Like Swift punish with this, his whiff punish is really good. He could go up back to S tier. Bridget didn't get many things. She got a new role. Bridget now has a down roll. Why is a down roll so big? If Bridget rolls at you, you can always 6B it. Like normal roll never beats 6B. Never, ever, 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 ever. This roll can beat 6B. This is really big, especially for offense. Having like guaranteed rolls, like having guaranteed 6B angles and all that, not being guaranteed anymore. Her having an option to fight back against that in neutral and in offense is really, really big. Also, she's one of the characters that benefit the most from Global 6 nerf because of how many options she had to move in the air, especially now with the roll buffs. So, yeah. I think she has potential to go even higher. I think the roll buffs are really, really good for her. I can change what I want to do. I can... Yes, she can't... Something notable. After Laurel, she can't do JD, so it does hurt a mix-up. She doesn't have to sacrifice something for it, but just the option of it adds a lot. It lets her do the mix-up more often because she has the threat of that Laurel, and also just lets her do like better strike throw, better safe jumps, and all that. I think if you like Bridget, you should play her. I think she's a decent character to start with. Pretty fun. And again, you should generally just play who you want in these games. Now. 96 or not. Wait, was it? Let me see the exact numbers. This character got 90 effective health. This character, you know, they said they're buffing the health to make everyone like game take longer and less and need more interactions. And they just gave this character by far, by a huge margin, by an insane margin, the biggest health buff in the game. For context, after Potemkin's now the tankiest character in the game. Second is Bedman. What the fuck? Why is he a tank? This character takes forever to kill. Double thanks for the follow. This character takes fucking forever to kill. You will not kill Bedman. You will just not. I'm sorry. This is while having all of Bedman's offense. Bedman's offense and neutral got such a huge buff with the vacuum last patch, with the JD. Huge buffs. So many buffs. Bedman also got like better tracking on his bomb. His bomb like now reaches further and can also reach like on different vertical heights. Bedman did receive some changes. Bedman does have Liz Word Crush on his charge bomb, which is big. It's very big for his sequences, but he still has so many of his insane log sequences. When Bedman has meter and he's running offense, he's gonna be a fucking menace. Also, yeah, longer 6Ps. Huge for Bedman. I cannot overstate how much this affects Bedman. Bedman's flying around, you're whiffing 6P, he will punish you, he will hit you with JD, he will hit you with whatever. Got some nerfs, got more damage. Bedman's install is like, what, 13 trades total? That shit is like insanely fast. But the biggest thing is this character is a tank. This is the biggest thing for the character. This character is a tank while hitting you with crazy mix-ups and flying all around the entire map and doing RPSs. Like, dude, even something like JD, that overhead, that's also like a really good dive kick that also gives him a pro conversion. Even when you block that, you're RPSing with him. You're RPSing with him so often. Him having that health is crazy. A lot of the characters in A, I feel like could go up. Again, like Bridget, I feel like has a potential sky. While D, I feel very, very confident about like these tiers. These two, I'm not as sure. Again, that's what I'm doing. I'm not doing like A+, or S-, and all that. It's early into the version, but the area and the vibe of these characters is the most important thing. I lean more to Bedman being A, because Bedman still has a bunch of issues, but being that tanky while having that many options is really big. Next up, we got Geo. Geo got interesting changes. So in the grand scheme of Guilty Gear Strive, she lost Garudog. She no longer has Gorkoshoki, but she got some buffs to compensate. When she has meter, she is zooming across the map. Some of her other follow-ups got quite a bit better. Her block string ender is a lot better. It's more minus. If you IB it, you get a better punish, but getting space from a block string ender is really, really good. I think Geos are mostly pretty positive. I feel like she's a character that could go really much higher. Geo, while she did lose Garudog, so you need to remember, while she did lose her Garkoshoki, it didn't exist against any character that had the DP. You just didn't have her most important OK that her gameplay ran around. If your character has a DP, it just doesn't exist. Losing it is huge. It makes her more like the buffs around it make her a lot more well-rounded. She's better against DP characters and generally worse against non-DP characters, I feel like. Down for buffs are really nice. Dude, she can do like dash 5. When she has full meter, she can do dash 5H from like across the map. That shit goes crazy. Also, she has more damage. Like, when I've seen her combos are generally better. Again, losing Guard Crush against non-DP characters probably makes her like a little worse off, I feel like. So yeah, basically how it worked is if you had a Meteorless reversal for Guard Crush Shoki, because it's reactable, you could just reversal it if you saw it coming, which means she couldn't do it. If you didn't have a reversal, you saw it coming, but then you were knocked down, you just wake up and you're blocking it. You don't have anything to do. So having a DP and not having a DP was huge against her. This is probably, she's maybe the character that is the most important to have a reversal against. Anji got some Nagia nerfs. He does get a hard knockdown. He's a character with potential to go higher. He is hard to talk out to say. Anji could be here, I'm gonna be real. Nagia is more consistently punishable, but like, yeah, getting a hard knockdown from Force Slash and getting a charged Fujin. He doesn't have conversions anymore from his overheads, which I feel are pretty damn big. But his stagger is really, 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 really good. I think Anji's probably here. Kinda dumb. Like converting into Rain, getting a hard knockdown from everything, from most things, is really good. Everything that leads to Fujin just leading to that. And the conversion with charge to Fujin are really good. Let's leave it here for now. Listen, Carrot. She got a huge nerf. She got one of the biggest nerfs in the patch. Maybe. Jacko 2D now flies them really far away. She does get okay. She does get mix-up, worse mix-ups. Her conversion with meter were way worse when 2D is up. And that is mostly it. She gets a dash cancel thing when she kicks a minion, but that doesn't really matter much. But Jacko did not receive much changes. It is really just all around. Yeah, the dash cancel doesn't even mean it is really all about the 2D. It is all around the 2D. The 2D is a big nerf. That is a big nerf. But you need to remember, that was a really, really strong character. One nerf of that, getting a nerf of that size is huge. But you did keep the other shit. Yeah, I agree that 2D is really big. But again, because of how good she was before, because she still like gets her 2D Oki, she still can run the game plan. Most of the game plan. They still have to put her very high. She gets to run her shit still. She just doesn't get to run her mix-up as well. Doesn't have like, she had like, I believe a 4-way mix-up or 3-way mix-up. That wasn't used too much. I wasn't used too much, but like was really strong. But doesn't have it now. Yeah. But she can still do like insanely long block spring. When she's in the corner, you're still getting comboed after 2D and all that. Again. She still has all the she still is throwing a billion minions at you. Still has some really good normals. So I would still put her quite high. Quite high, I mean like this is pretty low, but like, you know, she's not, I wouldn't put her at the bottom. Ino. Yeah, Ino's like alright. Ino's good buffs. Her chemical love changes are really good. Are really, really strong. Like she gets better Oki. She gets way better conversions. A lot of like weird conversion issues she had before are gone. Stroke is one of the most underrated buffs this patch. Stroke now keeps a low profile until the end of the actives instead of losing it at the start of the actives. Before, something you used to do, you used to be able to 6p, and despite not hitting stroke while it's down, you would hit stroke when it's going up. So because you never had an active frame of stroke that still had no profile, then you would just trade with stroke, and it's like 2D, like this 6p before just threw them away. Like, let's look at like stroke into stroke. Beforehand, I could just mash 2p. I could mash 2p, I could mash 6p. It would 2p. 2p would beat hover dash if Ino did immediate hover dash after stroke. And it would also beat the stroke because you just traded with it, which was fine. It wasn't the end of the world. You are in a way worse situation than just getting hit by stroke. This is just stroke RPS. You see, like this wins, like it's a good option. a lot of the options around stroke were not actually going that low profile, because the stroke's low profile is insane. You can't covering it is really hard. It was just hitting stroke as it's going up. That was a lot of the counterplay around stroke, and that is just gone. You like have to deal with stroke. Like when they stroke, you just either have to block it or you have to hit something that hits that low. If I thought Ino was gonna do hover dash, I did 2P. And if I thought Ino was gonna do another stroke, I could still do 2P because 2P just traded with it. Because 2P was active while she was going up. Now that is gone. So stroke is way, way better now that you can no longer rely on trading with it rather than just covering the low profile. And yeah, no conversions are way better. What I've seen, they're finding more and more usage for the chemical up changes. Yeah. Also, Earth was way better and stuff like that. And again, characters that are in the air as much as are characters that really, really benefit from the global 6P changes. These characters really want you to whiff 6P and punish you. They don't want you to spam 6P. They don't want you doing that, Seeing you whiffing 6P and now actually doing something about that, good. She is living good. She is eating well. Being with all of these goats. Testament has moved on far high. Far higher than people would ever expect. Testament got a very simple change. Throw combo on Stain. When you have the Stain set up, you throw someone, you get a combo. It does not see much. The biggest issue Testament had was a win con. Testament mix-ups had issues and still have issues. Testament neutral was good, but just converting it into a win con, into a winning game plan was kind of problematic. That was the biggest thing for that character. And now that's not an issue anymore. You're kind of fine. Like you can do Stain and then you can do like decent strike throw. You can do a strike throw that if you hit them with strike, you get a combo their wall breaks. If you throw them, you get a combo their wall breaks. And it sets up another Stain. That is a really good win con to have. That is a really strong win con. That is something, I don't know, really strong, but it is a very, very playable win con. Throw combos are ridiculous. Chaos might be here, but yeah, I don't know. Hard to say. But yeah, Testament having a win con now is really big. Now they're actually like really good neutral. Is way more pronounced. Now they go into stuff from it. The 6P changes do affect them more than most because they're pretty grounded the character, and their Testament 60 was a really important character, normal to the character. But you know what? That 6P is still huge. That 6P is still gigantic, and you still have really, really good normals. You're fine. I don't think it's that big for you. I think it's fine. I think Testament is still chilling. Testament 2 Halo profile still on yours as well. A.B.A got nerfs that are really, really affect her normal install. But yeah, using flip in neutral is now way worse. You used to be just a pressure extender. Used to be your way to get in. Counter it, flip used to win your rounds. Now it just gives you a hard knockdown. And now that's kind of gone. Now just like the win con value of it is gone. A lot of the pressure of it is gone. So you need to just play around with your normals more, and your normals without install are very problematic. Something very big. That A.B.A got two very big buffs. One indirectly and another directly. One, Danzai now combos. One counter it, one grounded, which is really good. Like, so install A.B.A is even better, Danzai is like more disgusting. But second buff, which is a big one, these two characters are way worse against A.B.A. Chaos, load weight being way weaker is huge for A.B.A against Chaos, which was one of her worst matchups. And Asuka, which was really good against A.B.A. and a lot of people had it as the worst matchup for A.B.A. That's being shot. So this is really big. The characters that she wasn't relying on flip as much, the characters that she was doing kind of fine against, she still deals with them. A character that needs to play like in her range, like Soul and all that. Like A.B.A can still deal with those characters really well. They still need to RPS with A.B.A. Still has other ways of going into install and getting far. Like she's fine in that regard. It's mostly the far away stuff that hurts her more. So the characters that do counter harder now being worse is huge for her. You still get zoned like really hard by some other characters, like I assume Bridget is like quite a bit worse. But yeah. A.B.A is still not in that horrible of a spot. That is the end of A tier. Now we got B tier. Again, I do need to import Zando, for example. Zando used to be like C tier. Yeah, Zando's in a way better spot now. Against compared to the broken characters, being in fucking B tier is the worst thing imaginable. In most times, being in B tier is not the saddest thing. Remember characters that used to be in B tier compared to S tier? They were mostly living fine. The worst thing about B tier, about being the worst in the bottom tier in the patch, is that the characters in the highest tiers are just so dumb. They buffed the best characters so much. Zaro went up a tier. Zaro's way better now. Zaro's way better now. But it feels like it doesn't matter because you buff Goldlewis so much more than you buff Zaro. Zaro got huge / buffs. Very, very big / buffs. Its / is now higher attack level, which means 1, it combos into Invite Hell. 2, on standing counter it even gives a full combo with Pierce. 3, / Pierce is not a mashable gap. You cannot mash on / Pierce anymore. Again, comboing / into Invite Hell also makes a lot of their block strings that had some flaws, makes them way better. Zado is maybe the character that benefits the most from the 6p buffs, or from the global 6p nerfs. His 6p specifically is huge for him to get nerfed. His 6p getting nerfed is big for him for some block strings and all that shit. It is a big for him, however, Flight is so important for him, especially these days. Flight is so much better now that everyone has more recovery on 6p. It is so much harder to deal with Flight. So everyone getting worse 6ps, it does help Zado a ton. Sadly, unlike Goldlewis, they gave him a compensation nerf. Sun Void, Sword Super no longer guarantees drills afterwards. You can only do Pierce. It's big for him. His buffs are way bigger than his nerfs. Like, he's quite a bit buff. But getting a compensation nerf like that when you're as bad as Zado is stupid. That is just stupid, bro. It also increased damage and some stuff for him. I remember if I forgot something. Yeah, made Drug Shade better. Oh yeah, and his command grab actually bringing all of Eddie back is appreciated. Actually, no, the second biggest buff after the Force Slash is Oppose. Oppose, he can just keep doing Oppose. He can, while Oppose isn't like active, while it's not attacking, it barely drains any of the Eddie bar. He can keep Oppose up if he keeps canceling Oppose into itself. He can keep it up for like forever now, which is huge for neutral, good for longer matchups. A character, like against resource characters, it's good for like making them waste stuff. Even against Ram, like the Oppose buff is huge, it makes her waste her sword. You did get a bunch of really big buffs. You give him compensation nerfs and not Goldlewis. Asuka, or Kreutz, my beloved. And I can't even play anymore because, yeah, I'm not playing character this low. And I think the good characters are this high. Let's look at what they did to Asuka or Kreutz. So the main tools in test case 3. First of all, let's talk about the supers. This super went from basically guaranteeing pressure and being like a really good knockdown, giving Oki. It went from having way more recovery, and I can't even run up again a close slash meaty, bro. This is a character that needed setup, that uses this as an ender, try to get resources afterwards and start some Oki. Yeah, that Oki is gone. It's wall break ender. Now on block, the biggest usage of this was you could use it in neutral. You can use this in neutral. You can use it after wall break. After wall break, this was huge. If they block this, you are quite a bit plus. You could, if you had cubes, you can just keep setting up stuff from it. You could like just do this and then throw cubes. It'd be even well the assault after wall break. It stopped the jumps. It still stopped jumps, but they added so much recovery to this that your advantage is like null. I'm holding up. Look how fast we're. Let's compare advantages. Let's look how advantageous I am when they block super compared to before. It was like, what, plus 20? More? I think it was more than plus 20. It was really plus. No, it was really dumb. But again, Asuka, in my opinion, already not in a strong position last patch. And now... Ooh. You used to be able to do, like, if you're really close, you'd be able to, like, do a 5k. You'd be able to do sometimes, like, in specific ranges, some, like, teleports into super, into cubes. You could set up a lot of things. You could do super into super, and now, yeah, that's all gone. That's all gone. All of this shit is gone now. This super, they gave the ability to look in other test cases. This is really good. This is a huge buff. However, with that buff came an even bigger nerf. Look at my mana. The longer you stay in this super, the more... the more mana it takes. It drains out your entire mana bar. While having... And this will be a bigger deal when you consider the next option. A lot of what you rerolled for, you rerolled for specific things. The biggest thing you look for is shock into arpeggio or 5 cubes into arpeggio. Just a simple setup lets you get started, lets you do stuff. And then the other 2 cards you could do like auto reroll and all that kind of shit. Now these setups are incredibly hurt. So this, not only is this taking all your mana, but it's more likely to take your mana because you have to go through a lot more stuff. You have to either have a way worse reroll, even when going through other test cases, because you don't have as much setup in other test cases. So you have to go for way more basic stuff after reroll. You can't aim for long sequences. But when you do it, you're often just wasting away your entire mana gauge. And again, you have way less longer stuff to set up test case, to set up offense with, and keep offense going so you can get mana with. So losing that mana is a bigger deal that you don't have like 5 cubes or a big shock to get the mana back with. Asuka's, like, you will often notice when you look for test case for fast staff, if you're actually looking for around each your card, you will take a while to look for it. If it's not within like the first 2 rerolls or 3 rerolls, you will waste all of your mana looking for one fast staff, and then you won't have any other shit in your other cards, because you have to also go back to test case 3 or test case 2 and look for cubes to support it. So like, often you will not find a fast staff in test case 1, and you will end up wasting your entire bar. And if you go to test case 2, you can look for like specific stuff, you can look for like overheads and stuff. But again, it's so much harder to support these overheads when you don't have 5 cubes. Again, this buff would have been so much more meaningful if they kept either shock or 5 cubes intact. Because not having extenders, not having shit to keep offense along the test case 3 relied on, that made the switching test case mid reroll super, that made that buff way smaller. So next up, let's go over the actual spells. They removed the best spell. They didn't nerf 5 cubes? No, they just removed it. They replaced it with 2 copies. They had 2 copies, the test case 2 and test case 3 out of 5 cubes. They replaced it with copies of 1 fire cube, and which is the one that gets stacks. Now, while they did make that cube get stacks, it is a lot harder to get stacks of this thing when you don't have things that extend your offense really well. So unless you already have an arpeggio going, it is really fucking hard to get those stacks. And again, finding that 5 cubes was not only like, the test case 3 has a lot of dead cards. Yeah, there's recycle cards, there's arpeggio that needs setup and the shit, there's resource cards, there's a lot of dead shit in test case 3. So finding the good shit, the broken shit was so much more important. Just looking through all of the dead shit, sometimes hitting an early jackpot and snowballing the round was so important for Asuka. So having so much less good cards, like stuff to get you started in test case 3, makes Asuka so much more unstable. So much more unstable than before. End up going through so many more dead cards. The sequences of finding shit is so much harder because you happen upon more dead cards, more cards that are nothing you can use. Like, yeah, 1 cube is like fine, it's like alright, but again, it's not good enough to get you started when you're going through shit in test case 3. When you're going through so many dead cards. Do I think they should have buffed his weaker spells and normal and compensation? Yes! I think... You know, my honest take is, I think you can remove that. I think you should... I think you can give Shock more compensation buffs. I think you can remove 5 cubes and you can make Asuka work, but you need to buff his normals, bro. You need to make him more than just a 2D bot. You need to give him like actual good normals. You need to make him more well-rounded if you're making his offense less overwhelming. You can make him... You don't want to make him so much focus on like his insanely oppressive offense and like Exodia. Fine. You can't just buff the other shit. You can make him less reliant on it. You can give him more consistent cards. You can like even remove recycle card. You can make the test cases more consistent. You can make him more stable and healthier. Give him better normals. Give him cards. Maybe give him cards that aren't as good as like 5 cubes and all that shit, but have a function. Help him deal with some of his issues while maybe not being as oppressive and neutral. Give him a card as consistent in Shock as Shock is in setting up Arpeggio, while not being as good in neutral as Shock is. And not having Guard Crush. Stuff like that. You can do a lot of things to make this character a lot healthier without just fucking nuking him. You can give him compensation or support. You can... when the top tiers are this broken, that is probably still not enough. Because again, that would be assuming that you don't have this fucking Goldlewis and Ram in the game. But yeah, you can make this Asuka work. You can make him feel better. You can maybe make him a little faster as well. You can make him just feel better. Make him less reliant on Exodia shit. Because guess what? He is more reliant on his gimmick. Because that's how his kit is. He doesn't have... His Power Slash is like the worst in the game. His 5H is not very good. His K-Bands are mediocre in Guild Gears Prime. He is a really good 2P, has a really good reason, and broken 2D, but most of his robots are very underwhelming. He's very slow. You can make him less reliant on this shit, and if you don't want him to rely on the spells on being strong, then you can do it. But you can't just... Let's keep the focus on the spells. Why shouldn't them this hard? You can't. We gone over like the big neutral power spike that was needed after so many dead cards, and like the stability that it brought being gone. We talked about this helping extend offense a lot in a very consistent way that he's kind of needed being gone. Remember, a lot of characters like have like really oppressive tools against Asuka. So something like it's like basically the law like 5 cubes, even against Potemkin, like something that gives you guaranteed time to set up was really big. Something that didn't just hop over easily by May and all that. Something like that was really big. Yeah, that's 5 cubes. His best spell, easily his best spell, being gone. Now, let's talk about his other setup spell. One of his best spells. Being gone. This is a really important set, like for setting up Arpeggio, for getting cards in offense. This was really fucking important. And like just for starting offense, like when you get them to block it from neutral. Like just for like getting in, like getting to dash in. They made this lose 18 frames of block stun. 18 frames of block stun. Level 1 Shock went from on its fastest cancel, mana charge, went from plus 25 to plus 7. Plus 7. Which means you're not setting up Arpeggio. Bro, you can't even, like, you can't make, like, a 2D of a true block string off of it. You cannot do shit. Again, another card that when you're going through test case 3, you need some good shit. You need to find good stuff. You're going to fucking recycle cards and teleport. You don't have that many great things that when you're going to test case 3 often. Big cube and on neutral. It's funny. I love the big cube, but like it's not the thing you need to get started in test case 3. And they just nuke it. The RNG is, again, the stability issues are so much worse. So many matchups are so much worse. Alongside, again, this happening alongside 5Q being removed is so much worse. They were the 2 most important cards, easily, by far, the 2 most important cards to get started. Now, these are you only kick things that are consistent from far away, and against like DP characters and all that shit. You needed the against the other characters. You straight up don't have other characters of getting in a safe arpeggio. You straight up don't. If you're not knocking them down, if you're running pressure, you need to run like a few cubes from far away and get them to block a bunch of shit. You needed like a teleport to cover you. Like they are the only spells, offensive spells that straight up just set up arpeggio that were a clean setup. Now both of them are gone, which means arpeggio is so much worse. So much worse. And yeah, when you going into that stage 3 feels so much worse. Running long sequences, because again, not only did they set up sequences, but they were key. Finding more of these was key to continue sequences. Sequences in general are just way smaller. Even when you have max resources, you're not getting like super long block strings. And you know what? I think super long block strings are not the issue. I think having decent extensions was important, but I think taking away, I think making him not have insanely long block strings that was 40 seconds and shit, I think that's healthy. But I think it was done in a very stupid way. I think this was done in a way that did not consider what his other block string needed. And yeah, we're not even talking about the rest of the shock. This was shock 1 nerf. Like they did, okay, so now instead of block stun being across instead of block stun being the same around all shock levels, now every level you get the shock spell gives you more block stun. So if shock level 1 lost 18 frames of block stun, surely you get all of those back by level 5, right? Surely you get all of your shock block stun back by level 5. Well, instead of losing 18 frames of block stun, you go to losing in level 5. You lose 10 frames of block stun. Woo! So you're off and you're still not getting an arpeggio off of it usually, unless you're really far away or it's very character dependent. But yeah, your setups and shit, your block stun are still way worse even at max level. You do more damage at max level, but yeah. Way worse. I have one last change. But the biggest thing is they said they're buffing its worst card, which is this. Test case 2 mana card used to take away your entire hand and give you mana. Now it just gives you 20 mana. 20. Next up, Axel. Well, they just took away Rainwater Vacuum. They put so much effort into giving him cool vacuum combos and all that, all the Mugen combos and all that. Then they just took away his vacuum, made his pressure way worse. Gave him against characters that he's own, he is kind of chilling though. I think going back to neutral is not as bad for him against characters that he does on his own. I don't think it's as bad as people say, but again, he wasn't in the best spot. Also, yeah, his super is way worse. His super is now punishable. You used to only be able to punish Axel super if you jump cancel it, so you got the suboptimal punish. Now he's minus a billion, so you can punish it a lot more easily. What else? His zoning does do more damage. His normals have tippers, they do more damage from far away. He doesn't need charge to Rensu anymore, which is nice, but and he gets 6k gives better conversion, stuff like that, but. Again, the added damage is nice. Oh, his Tornado also launches. Tornado launching is pretty big, launching on hit. It's hard to overstate just how big Rainwater Vacuum is. That was... Rainwater being completely broken was the thing that made him work so well. Still has really impressive stuff, his P is still fucked. But yeah, losing Rainwater was a gigantic nerf. Losing a lot of the combos from that is big. It's going quite a bit down. Milia, Milia is already a character very, very nerfed by last patch. She is one of the characters that is the most affected by no wall break from a while ago. Her game plan, before Season 3, Milia had a lot of issues around the wall. Doing all okay around the wall was kind of awkward mostly for her. And breaking the wall, for a mix-up character, for an Oki character, she had pretty damn bad wall break Oki. She couldn't do any like left right, no mix-ups. Like she really struggled there. With Wild Assault, Badmoon, like being able to keep meter after when you wall break and take a little bit of a burst, but mostly just being able to keep meter to run Badmoon mix, like doing high low with Badmoon was huge. Having like positive block strings with Badmoon as a core mix-up really rounded her out, really fixed her issue with breaking the wall, made her completely fine with just breaking the wall. And then when they removed it, she went back to having the issue of, oh, I reached the wall, what do I do now? That was a big struggle for her. Like for a character that's like an Oki character, a mix-up character that's supposed to be running a game plan and playing into a win con, like having a struggle like that from a win con is not the best. Like not having like as clean of a win con like is in a way of I can't reach the wall and I don't want to break the wall and reach positive, which is really bad considering how strong positive is. Like not benefiting from it as much. Not good for her. Now, her neutral is still really good. Oh, something that's important. Also, with Season 3, the high-lows being more meaningful was really big for her, partly because her left-rights became way worse off of Deflection OS. Being able to, like, OS her left-rights off the 2K2D with Deflection was a huge nerf to her. Huge nerf. She's the character easily the most affected by Deflection OS. So, her suffering from it again and not having those high-lows was already big. But her neutral was still... She still had the oopsie factor of, oh, I hit you with Capel, oh, you're dying, or that's it, you're dead. Like, the wall is break. Like, you're dead, but like, you can get a random wall break from any time in the round if you get a certain, like, Capel hit. Now that is gone. She no longer gets Capel into wall breaks, she now gets, or into big damage, she now gets Capel into 2K2D, which, again, leads to her issue of Deflection OS, making her 2K2D Oki way worse. So relying even more on the Oki that loses the Deflection OS is really bad for her. It puts her in a really bad position. Like with the issues they introduced for her, like with all the issues she had, like relying on that like oopsie factor of like having a tool as really strong as Capel, being able to win her the game was so important for her. Faust. Bro, they nerfed jump 2K. I don't know why, bro. That was such a core tool for Faust. Like taking away his advantage, a lot of his advantage on jump 2K was so big. So much of his neutral and block string was about that. Bro, you have Leo Faust doing so much shit, running so much of his offense around recovering after jump 2K. Okay. I think he could be higher, because like again, from what I've seen, it's not as big, but he was also not in an amazing spot. He's like the biggest contender for me to like going up, but like I don't know, it's hard to say because a lot of the characters above him got buffed way more. Like Testament got buffed way more than he did. You know, they got more buffed and all that. Yeah. I mean, again, with Faust, it's mostly power creep. Again, you need to remember, it's mostly the, like Zando moving up. Mostly Zando moving up in the world, less than Faust going down to his level. He could be higher. I'm not. I don't know as much about Faust. He's a character that does like have more implications. Like his new special does have more implications. Can be bigger. So time will tell. But for now, I feel like due to power creep, and like the characters like at the bottom moving up, like he's in kind of that state. Remember, none of these tiers are ordered. I think she's like bottom tier. I think she has some really fucking impressive. I think Ice Spike is insane. I think Michael Sora is insane. I think characters don't have ridiculous low profiles. Like, can do pretty well against them. I think, like, she's probably fine. She's a character that's a huge question mark. And I think this, like, Wings of White, once you look at it as a threat rather than I need to set this up and make this work, I think it becomes a lot better. Because blocking Firefish in the corner while she has wings is fucking scary, man. You're right. No, the meter gain she gives you is really bad. Yeah, I don't feel like racing on very real. Alright.